What up, shitheads?
O's.
And because we swapped back to this, it didn't play it through the speakers of our computer. It actually played it through my damn headphones.
My son thanks you for that.
Yep.
Played it. Also, man, I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with that. I'm gonna have to redo that and send it to you guys because I'm pretty sure that it's that one of those guitar tracks is just a clean DI track and not playing like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna have to go fix that. But
Hey, you
know.
do you, bro. However you want to do it, just let me know and I'll fix it.
That's way above me.
Hopefully, I can get that like by next week because I won't be able to do it tomorrow, and then I won't be able to do it. I mean, maybe Sunday,
Yeah, it's all good.
but I can get it done before Wednesday next week. So
It's above my head. I had no idea what you're talking about.
the intro track. Well, yeah, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about because you're a doctor or whatever. So
Paging Dr. Faggot. No.
Basically.
A couple of good matchups this week that we had in our league.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, Chase.
So
Chase was
frustrating.
beating me going into Monday night, and then Kate Otten went off for 26 points, so I ended up getting the win over Chase to continue my streak of. It shows 17 consecutive wins. My only loss is to Tyler week 1. I hit the median week 1, and then have won everything since. So
fuck
Jeez
you.
Louise.
yeah, I mean, and again, I think I've mentioned this the last couple of times. I still don't feel like my team is that good. Like, I think they're good. I don't think they're good enough to be 17 and fucking 1.
Yeah,
Um,
just the good matchups, man.
yeah, good matchups, and then I'm scoring touchdowns like a motherfucker. And now I have actually depth on my team with some trades that I made. So, it's working out ever since I made that trade with Tyler last year, week 3, where I traded Josh Allen and Devontae Adams for Lamar and a first, which turned into Marvin Harrison. It's worked out pretty good for me.
Marvin Harris. Oh.
Yeah. Sweet Pea showing up again. It's been a while since we've talked about him showing up. He got the win over Hayden, 173-16.
Dude, fuck him. Also,
Closest game. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. So Trey had the highest scoring team of the week because we do $10 for highest scoring team of the week. Trey had it going into the Monday night game, and then, who was it? DeAndre Hopkins with his 8 for 86 and 2 touchdowns comes in and snipes it. Trey beat him by exactly 4 points.
Oh, my God.
That last touchdown was like 3 minutes to go in the game.
yeah, dude, bullshit.
Yeah, crazy. But then Trey's matchup against Tyler was the best matchup of our league for the week because it was the second and third highest scoring teams this week. But Trey ended up getting the win, 169 to 164. Wendell beat.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I look at my. It was. I might not have made the right decision if you had not texted me and said, "Hey, Brian Robinson's out." I have not been paying attention and just left him in there and not thought about it.
Yeah.
So, and then it was just like
Who'd you end up plugging in for him?
fucking Mike Gesicki.
Holy shit.
Oh, my
5 for 102
Lord.
touchdowns, 29.5 points.
It was just like,
You're
man,
fucking welcome.
yeah,
Yeah.
my only option because like look at my team for like I had like Trey Benson, that's his name, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He ended up scoring touchdowns on it. He got 12.5.
I had Trey Tucker,
Mm-hmm.
I had Bub Means, and I had Dalton Schultz.
Yep.
I'm like, man, Gesicki's got a fucking, pretty much a good
T.
matchup.
Higgins
Fucking
out.
and he went fucking ape shit.
Anytime T. Higgins is out, you can basically start Mike Gesicki in anything.
And I think Gesicki caught a garbage time touchdown too, is what really put you over the edge, didn't he?
Yeah, he got 5 for 102 touchdowns. I mean, they were fucking well, like Gesicki didn't really do much last week though. 15.
That's still solid for tight
Yeah,
ends,
for
though.
tight ends, my God.
Well, yeah, 15's okay, but I'm looking at like
The only times he's had relatively good games or even double-digit games is when T. Higgins is out. Basically, he is acting as the T. Higgins role. And for Jamar Chase to only get 7.8 points, I guess technically, I think 7.8 in standard, but maybe it was PPR. And Joe Burrow throws for 5 touchdowns. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of it was Jamar Chase got 11.3, got 7 catches for 43 yards. I think that a lot of that, which he still got 11 targets, but I think that they tried to roll cover 2 over top and take him away with a double team. So he was, which is why his yardage total was so low, because he was getting these short passes where, maybe they played off of him or something, but he just wasn't able to get a ton of yards. So I think that it was just the game plan by the Raiders was to take him out and let everybody else beat you, and
everybody
Joe Burrow
else
fucking did it. Yeah.
Dumbasses.
Yeah. That was a fun game for me to watch finally.
Yeah. And you're right there in the thick of things. We'll get to the playoff picture in just a minute, which you won't like, but we'll get into it. Wendell beat Grant Collins 141-134, and then Grant Robinson beat Jed 141-130. And so before I had Kate Otten play, the median was going to be between Wendell and Grant Robinson at 141.58 to 141.5, which would have been a hell of a median to have for somebody to miss it by 0.04. But then with Kate Otten going off, Chase got the last spot at 145. So now the standings on the east side, I'm 17-1. Wendell and Tyler are 10-8. Grant Robinson 9-9. Hayden 4-14. Then the west, Chase is 12-6. Jed and Trey 9-9. Grant Collins and Sweet Pea 5-13. So playoff picture, which again we do playoffs based off the potential points as the tiebreaker. So I'm the number 1, Chase the number 2, Tyler the number 3, Wendell the number 4. Tyler and Wendell both 10-8. Then we got 3 people at 9-9 for the last 2 spots, and it's Grant Robinson and Jed at 9-9, and then Trey is on the outside looking in, 18 points behind Jed and.
Oh, you're basically tied.
Potential.
Yeah. Very close. Like I'm a point behind him from having his spot in the West.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm behind him. He has points for 1,199 as 1,198.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then it's a significant drop off there. It goes Grant Collins and Sweet Pea at 5-13, Hayden at 4-14. So 7 for 6 is what we're looking at. Pretty tight race coming down to it with 5 weeks left, weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So 10 games that can be won, anything can fucking happen.
It is 10, so 10, 11.
Yeah, and now that Sweet Pea's got Christian McCaffrey back, that's going to be a sneaky team to watch to see if he ends up trying to, win a couple games here and see if he can sneak in the last little bit.
Yeah.
That was Sweet Pea's second win of the weekly $10 after week 1.
Damn.
So it's been a while for him. And his potential was 207, so that actually put him in the top 5 of potential weekly points
for the season.
Year.
Yeah.
It took my week 4 away and gave it to Sweet Pea. So yeah, but that was overall by percentage our best week of starts against the median, 88.9. Trying to think of anything else to look at here. Sweet Pea is the only one under 80% manager rate for his starts based on potential. And Grant Collins is still over 90% at 92.2. Everybody else is between 81.6 and 87.6.
Damn.
He's over 90% and his team is 5-13.
Yeah. And he is, what is he? 1, 2,
selling the farm.
He is 4th in points scored, but he is next
in potential.
He's ninth in potential.
Oof.
Trey just jumped him. So that's why,
Yeah.
is because even though he scored a lot of points, his team potential isn't just in there. So he's playing the right lineups. It's just he's also running into a buzzsaw each week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's why you sell your team there.
Yep. And so Trey, your potentials versus Tyler this week, if y'all would have both played the perfect lineup, you would have lost to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would have beat you 187 to 173.94. You would have still got the median, but you would have lost.
Damn.
Oh, good thing that he fucking doesn't know how to manage his fantasy football.
Yep, that's true.
Uh,
That is true.
Although I can't say by looking at this little fucking thing here that he's the worst manager of the week, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a little bit.
oh, okay. Yeah.
There it is. This week's matchup, I'm playing Tyler. That should be a good one. Trey gets Grant Collins. So if history repeats itself, Trey's team should do pretty good. Chase and Jed, I think that's going to be a sneaky good matchup. Just Jed's team is so up and down, but seems like, well, I guess it depends on which week you catch him, Chase, because he had week 6, his potential was 95.26, and then week 8 was 193. So,
Holy shit.
yeah,
Just 93.
Yeah. Then Wendell plays Sweet Pea, which Sweet Pea is 5-13 and favored in that matchup based on projection. And then Grant Robinson plays Hayden. So, a couple good ones this week. We're starting to get into a lot, at least for my team, we're starting to get into a lot of bye weeks.
Mm.
So,
I know, like week 14, there's
mhm.
teams on bye, and that's our last regular season.
Yeah.
matchup.
Thankfully, it's not going to matter for me when I have Lamar and Derrick Henry on bye.
Yeah.
But
That's
I say that my team's going to shit the friggin' bed. But I still think it would be there would have to be a lot of other shit go on for me to miss the playoffs.
oh yeah. I'm surprised you're not already mathematically in the playoffs.
Technically I can miss it because of with 10 games left. If I lost all 10, I'd be 17-11, and if 2 of the 3 people at 9-9 won all 10, then they'd be ahead of me at 19-9.
But they probably couldn't because they will probably face off against each other.
Well, so I play Trey week 11, which is next week. I play Grant Robinson week 12. And then I don't play Jed.
Oh, okay.
But Jed has you, and then he plays Grant Collins, and then Sweet Pea and Trey and Hayden. So Jed's he's got an easy last week there, but there's several good matchups coming in. Let's see. Chase has Jed, then Chase plays Sweet Pea, Trey, Grant Robinson, and Grant Collins.
Like that final week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grant.
Right. Tyler's got me, Hayden, Grant Collins, Wendell, and Grant Robinson. So really, Tyler's got, week 11 and 12, pretty easy for him. And then 13 and 14 should be decent.
It's a little,
a
little closer on the last 4 spots right now, and it's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, when you've got the last 4 spots are 5 people within a game of each other, that's pretty nuts.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's how it should be. So, do we want to run through our starts and sits from last week, or do we want to go into some of the other stuff?
I'll do the starts and sits, and then I can go right into
I can't pick a start and sit to save my fucking life, but my team is awesome. So.
Yeah. Well, I started Alvin Kamara. He was just the reception machine, so he ended up getting that. My Zay Flowers sit didn't quite hit there. It was close though. So I went one for one this week. Trey, your start was Josh Downs. He didn't do too bad, but their offense wasn't good enough to score 20. But Jameis Winston was your sit, and he did. He came back down to earth. 3 picks. Yep. So that was a good call there. So you went one for one last week. Tyler went Mahomes, who barely got it in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh Jacobs was a sit, which was incorrect, but not by far. He got 13 points, but he actually had like a really decent game, and he was getting the volume too. He just doesn't get any receptions. So in our league, that doesn't count for many points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Will started Terry McLaurin, got 2 touchdowns, but literally nothing else. And it was 2 short touchdowns on that. So he didn't get the point threshold to hit the start. And then Joe Burrow was not right.
Yeah. The low point for quarterbacks is 12, and Burrow had 5 touchdowns.
Which is 20 points already.
Yeah, and freaking Terry McLaurin with a 1-yard touchdown and a freaking 12-yard touchdown or whatever it was. So
yeah, and that was like literally his only points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
so.
He had 1 catch outside of that.
I think so. I think it was only like 3 or 4 catches.
Yeah. Oh no, that was it. It was 2 for 19 and 2 touchdowns for 16 points. Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go take care of this dog real fast.
Okay.
I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
You're good. So overall records, I'm 5 for 11.5 or 5 and 11.5. Trey, you're 8 and 10. Tyler's 8 and 10, and Will is bringing up the rear at 3 and 15. So.
8 and 10. I did not do this good last year.
No, you did not. I don't think any of it.
Crazy. 3, 15 and pick with 17 and 1 in the season.
So
that's what you said. I was 3 and 15, right?
3 and 15, yes.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
All right. So my segment, I was going to quickly run through trades. I was going to ask Tyler how many trades he thought has transpired since our draft or during our draft, I guess you could say. 13 is the amount of trades that has taken place this year.
That's close.
This
and
season,
you're saying that since the draft started.
Yeah,
right.
That was draft. Right at the draft, start of the season, boom. That's what I guess that's what I consider the start of the season is when the draft transpires. So during the draft, there was only 1 trade, I believe, and that was Trey and I's trade. And it was Rachaad White for a 4th, which he got Dylan Lobby out of there. And then I got Zach Charbonnet and Jaden Daniels with the 2nd round pick that I got out of there. So I think I won that one. The second trade that transpired was between Hayden and Grant. And this was the Grant just made a mistake and he was trying to recover as quickly as he could. So he traded Xavier Worthy, who he took in the 1st, and easily could have gotten Jonathan Brooks on that pick, but because he didn't, he had to give up Cole Kmet and Xavier Worthy in order to get Jonathan Brooks. Mm-hmm. So that was Grant and Hayden's trade. That was the second trade.
That was a cellar dweller trade.
The third trade was Tyler's fun little experiment with Stephon Diggs and Curtis Samuel. So Tyler traded Curtis Samuel or got Curtis Samuel in a 2nd, and he was sending to William McCringleberry, Stephon Diggs, and a 3rd round. Obviously, Stephon Diggs was lighting it up until, unfortunately, his ACL injury, and Curtis Samuel hasn't been worth anything. So now, really.
Didn't he drop Curtis Samuel?
Yes, I believe he did.
That's what makes that even better. Is that he dropped his ass.
4th trade. This is the start of the sale for Trey. Trey sold Aaron Jones in a 2nd for Trey Benson in a 1st to Kringleberry. 5th trade. It's the worst trade of them all. Trey traded Brock Bowers for Trey Tucker, Brian Robinson Jr., and a third. Ugh.
Gross.
Sixth trade. Once again, Trey is involved in this one. He traded Michael Pittman Jr. and Rashad White for Jordan Mason in a second. Not bad, but unfortunately, Jordan Mason getting hurt didn't really help you out there.
Yeah, kind of the AC fucking thing. I'm hoping that maybe this sounds bad, but I'm hoping that
CMC gets a little banged up again.
maybe there's a tear.
It worked really well for me that I traded him at the right time.
Yeah, because he would have been stuck on your team after that.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh trade between Tyler and Jed. Tyler sent Kyle Pitts and Trey Sermon for Travis Etienne in a fourth. And after that trade, Kyle Pitts has done a lot better. Then we get into your bigger trades. Starting last week, I traded Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Wright, and a first for Tyreek Hill, Tyler Algier, and a third. Tyler, and I wasn't aware of this one, I guess. Tyler and Hayden were involved in a trade 9. Tyler gave up Xavier Legette in a second for Cooper Kupp. I wasn't aware of that one. Will and I were involved in a trade with I was given Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaiah Likely, and a third for Michael Pittman Jr. and Jake Ferguson. And then immediately after that, Grant Robinson and I had a trade that was already in there. I was just trying to get the trade done with Will, and I was giving Roschon Johnson and a first for Joe Mixon. And then the last two trades Will has been involved in. Will gave his 2026 and 2027 first round picks to Grant Collins for DK Metcalf. And then the last pick of the trade deadline, because I'm assuming trades stop after the start of tomorrow's game. Is that correct?
No, it's at the end of Monday night's games.
End of Monday night's game. Okay,
so you literally have until the clock hits zeros on Monday night, and the game is over to make a trade.
Okay. But the trade that has transpired is between Tyler and Will. Will gave Tyler Cedric Tillman. Tyler gave Will a second-round pick. So that's all your trades that has transpired. Is there any that screams out to you as being, a trade you wish you didn't do, a trade that you were like, oh yeah?
I think that's a question for Trey.
Yeah, I didn't really like my fucking first trade there.
Especially since you gave up Rashad White like literally a couple weeks later.
Yeah, Rashad White was really good last year, and I was like, man, I think that'll be a good trade for me. And I'm like, we gonna run him back, and then he just did not. He hasn't done what he did last year at all.
Well, yeah,
he's been a solid contributor here recently. I had like 29.1, 15.7, 12.5, and then he plays San Francisco this week, so it's really hard for me to play him. But going into weeks 12, 13, and 14, he plays the Giants, Carolina, and Las Vegas. So
yeah, it's a fantastic finish.
And with my bye weeks, I may be inclined to play him and fucking Bucky Irving. So
yeah, and if you look at what he did last year, though, like his point total,
right?
It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he was very consistent, but that was because he was getting the volume. But now he has actual competition there. Sean Tucker actually is looking like he's worth something, which they were excited when they got him. He just had a injury coming out of college, and I think he re-injured himself and basically didn't have a rookie season. So
I didn't know that.
Number 4 overall player last year was Rashad White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like it. I think we're getting more involved in trades each and every year. And I think people are providing more trades. We're starting to get to know know each other to the point to where we're not giving, too crap of trades, I guess you could say. But
Mhm.
I have enjoyed a lot of conversations. There's been a lot more trade talks this year than last year for sure. So that's been a lot of fun, I think.
I would agree with that.
In terms of start and sits, y'all want to go right into that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Trey, are you ready or?
Yeah, I got mine picked
Or no?
out already.
Oh, that's
shit! Let's fucking go. Go ahead with your start there, bro.
Oh, all right. So my start of the week, is somebody on my team.
Okay. I like
so
it.
you're wishing for it.
I'm pretty sure I may have picked them already once this year.
Bo Nix.
From again, no. Tyrone Tracy.
Okay.
He's got the
I like
Carolina Panthers. It should be a good matchup for him. He should
Yeah.
murder him.
Everybody's a good matchup for Carolina.
Yeah.
Dr. Captain Clutch, what you got? Are you still explaining yourself?
Oh, I was going to go ahead and do my sit, and we're going to do all of our starts and then do all of our sits.
I don't care. We can do whatever.
I'm going to do it. All right, so my sit this week, which I actually feel like maybe this one's too easy now that I think about it, especially since I look at his last week's scoring. 2 weeks ago, this guy was my start. He's my sit again. Or not again, but this week. Bo Nix.
It was Bo Nix. I was going to guess that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bo.
I would love to
Kansas City.
I would absolutely love to be wrong and for him to just fucking somehow rather carve Kansas City up for fucking 4 touchdowns and like 250 yards. I would love it.
Everyone's been playing Kansas City close. Even the Raiders played them close.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Kansas City's defense is good, but their offense is just so inconsistent, which is not normal.
Yeah.
Like, really, Mahomes is like, it's almost like he's not showing up until the game is close at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're winning, it doesn't really matter. But
fuck, they're 8-0. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
Yep. Chase, you want to go or you want me to?
No, I got it because I'm gonna start the guy that ruined all my hopes and dreams last week in Cade Otton. He's literally the only target there. And Jalen McMillan, which I don't think he really would have been that much of a target magnet, even if he was playing last week. But there is a definitive number one target that is getting those high volume red zone targets, and that's Cade Otton. And
it's not even red zone; he's getting all the targets.
Yeah.
Like Sterling Shepard is there. Yeah, I think he's essentially their number one now since Evans and Godwin are both hurt. But he's not even getting targets down the field. It's Otton.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. And he last week for sure. My sit is for multiple reasons. I was expecting a lot more out of Kyler Murray this year. It is not transpiring. They're playing against the Jets, so my sit is going to be Marvin Harrison. I think they're going to have to run the ball with James Conner and with Kyler Murray probably running the ball, which means less opportunities for Marvin Harrison. So I do not believe that he will be scoring more than 10 points this week.
Go fuck yourself.
I started Cade Otton for you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So I wrote mine down about 10 minutes ago, and my start was Cade Otton.
There you are.
So
are we sharing it?
Yep. We're doing it. Fuck it. Because, I mean, he's been so consistent over the last couple of weeks since those guys got hurt. And like you were talking about, he's getting the targets. So I don't see any reason why that's going to stop. And they're playing San Francisco. Bosa is going to be on one because he's a MAGA guy and they won. And, and Trump's won the election. But tight ends tend to favor when quarterbacks need to get the ball out quick. So He's going to get the ball out, and I think Otten, and this is going to be even bolder if you want to add this to it. If you want to make this halvesies on this, Otten's going to have double-digit catches.
Double-digit catches. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm playing against Otten in the league, but I also picked up Baker this morning or yesterday morning. So, or was it yesterday morning? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He'll be good. I mean, he's still good, but
I think they're going to have to throw it a lot because San Francisco does well against the run.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably a game for Rachaad White, but I'm going to keep him on my bench because I'm going to start Taysom Hill after his week last week.
Don't blame you. They really don't have anybody else to kind of give those touches to right now.
Right.
Everybody else is hurt.
Mm-hmm. Well, Derek Carr got Olave killed across the middle.
Yeah.
So Michael Thomas had some shit to say about that. If anybody hadn't seen that, you should go check it out because it's funny. On X, he went on a rant. But my sit, this guy's playing against the Titans, and the Titans have number 1 pass defense in the NFL. It's Quentin Johnston.
QJ.
He coming off 4 for 118 in a touchdown, so had 22 points, which he's had. I think 3 of his 6 games he's played in this year have been under 10 points, but so it's probably not as big of a stretch. But yeah, I'm not thinking the Titans are going to beat the Chargers. I think J.K. Dobbins is probably going to have a good game, and I'm hoping he does, but Johnston won't.
They've been throwing the ball a lot more. It's been kind of surprising.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've kind of gone.
But at the same time, Dobbins is still getting touches. So
still getting the work. Yeah.
He had 16 touches last game, 20 or 21 the previous game. So
I would like to see the Chargers average plays these past 3 weeks compared to the rest of the season, the start of the season, because I feel like they're running a lot more plays and they're getting a lot of big plays, which is giving them more possessions throughout the game, which is why you're having more fantasy relevance there at the Chargers than just J.K. Dobbins. I mean, Justin Herbert hasn't been startable the entire year except for these last 2 weeks. And then, QJ, he's had 2 big weeks out of the last 3. Will Dissly, I think, has done decently well for their tight end position a few games as well. So I am curious if this is something that they're going to be maintaining for the next couple of weeks or so, just this new high-powered offense for whatever reason.
Yeah. And I don't know if you heard me say this because my shit's cutting out, but Quentin Johnston last year, at the end of the year, he could not catch it for shit.
Yeah.
It's just like he had hands of brick.
A lot of people gave up on him after his really poor performance at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
I still think there's a shot. I mean, he's still young, he's still developing, but in terms of dynasty future, could they potentially get another wide receiver and have him compete for the number 2 wide receiver position, right? They would be in a position, I think, to probably draft a tight end. I think they were one of the ones that were potentially in a good spot to try to get Brock Bowers this year. Imagine if he was on there. I think that they'll probably draft a tight end if they really wanted more skilled players, I guess you can say, around Justin Herbert. But this shows life on the Chargers than just a running team with Harbaugh. And I think that was obviously the main concern leading up into this season. So to have the Chargers actually have a passing game is kind of interesting. Makes it a little bit more relevant.
23rd in total offense for the Chargers. They are 21st in passing right at 200 yards a game, and then rushing they are 20th. So they're below average across the board.
Because they weren't running a whole lot of plays. They didn't have a whole lot of possessions.
Yeah, and this didn't tell me the number of plays. But they throw the ball 52.3% of the time. Let's just see if we can go here.
Like the last 3 weeks or something of the sort.
Yeah, let me do this number right here. I'm looking through my advanced statistics. That's not what I wanted, you piece of shit.
Trey, you got your bench warmers ready?
27, 41, 46, 50 total plays last week against the Browns.
50? Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like that's still kind of short.
yeah, that is low. I think the league average is up in the upper 50s.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking it was closer to 60, 70.
I don't think it's that much.
Because that would be like 6 possessions
Mhm.
that you get and run 10 plays for touchdowns on all 6 drives. That doesn't make sense.
61 total plays against the Saints the week before, where they won 26-8. But then again, that was the Spencer Rattler Saints. So take that as you will.
Had a few more possessions there.
Yeah, right. Against the Cardinals, threw it 39 times. They had 61 plays in that game.
So they're kind of ramping up a bit.
Mm-hmm. Last week was down, but week 7 were up. Let's just go back and look at one more. Week 6, the Broncos. Well more, 59, 61, 65, 67, 71, 72 plays on offense against the Broncos.
Damn.
So it's actually trending down the last 4 weeks, but
Interesting.
yeah. All right. Top performers and bench warmers of the week. Top 3 quarterbacks from last week: Jalen Hurts with 30, Joe Burrow 29, Patrick Mahomes 25. Danny Dimes coming in at 24. Right after that with his 54 rushing yards and a touchdown, which is hilarious because Daniel Jones had 0 yards passing at halftime.
And a touchdown. That's
What
wild.
was it, like 4 of 6 for 0 yards and a touchdown at halftime?
And a touchdown. Oh, that's fantastic.
I've never seen a stat like that. It was fucking insane.
Well, it's kind of like Jalen Waddle, 4 catches, -4 yards, and a touchdown.
If I would have, it was 2 for -4 and a touchdown.
Oh,
if I would have lost because of that 23-yard loss he took in that last game, I'd have been fucking madder than hell. It was so dumb. For those of you that hadn't seen it, Jalen Waddle took the pitch on the last play of the game and ran backwards 23 yards, almost into the fucking end zone and got tackled like by one dude. Like, what's the fucking point, man?
I needed him to run backwards another 50 yards for me to win. So
that still wouldn't have done you any good. Well, at the point, he would have got a safety, but it was only like 6 yards after that. So yeah, probably wouldn't have done you any good. Saquon with his reverse hurdle, running back, 33. That was still one of the best plays I've ever seen. Like, motherfuckers backwards and hurdles somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta retire. I know that's that kid's rookie year.
Get the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
You're done.
Like, hey, man, you always want to go down in history, but you're going to go down in history for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Right. That play's going to be played for a long time.
Near butt fumble.
That's gonna be on next year's Madden highlight, like the intro of the game. Like they're gonna add that shit on there.
Yeah, dude, that'll be on like ESPN fucking like intro reels and shit where they're doing B-roll fucking footage and all. It's fucking insane.
What do you think is worse?
Could be the cover Madden.
Oh my god!
Because they do Odell, his one-handed catch. That was on the cover, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah, in 2015 or 16 or whenever the hell it
was. Which
what were you saying, Chase?
Which player would you hate to be more? That player that got hurdled by Saquon Barkley backwards, or Brandon Knight on the DeAndre Jordan alley-oop from Chris Paul?
I don't know
Damn, what a question.
I don't know the Brandon Knight alley.
Oh, you don't? It's the most wild getting dunked on. Like even DeAndre Jordan, he was walking back and he was like, ugh. Like that was
Hey,
disgusting.
Chase, you find that while I'm going through the rest of these players. How about we
Okay.
do that?
Sounds good.
Send it to him. Yeah. Devon
yeah,
Achane was
gotcha.
second running back at 32, and Alvin Kamara was third at 28. Wide receivers, top player of the week overall was Jackson Smith and Jigba with 37 points,
Wild.
7 for 180 and 2 tuds. Garrett Wilson was second with 30, 9 for 90 and 2 touchdowns, which his second touchdown was dumb. Speaking of Bell's catch, was dumb.
Wild.
Just like that one. And then Zay Flowers also had 30 with 5 for 127 and 2 tuds. Tight ends, Mike Gesicki leading the way with 5 for 102 touchdowns for 30 points. Travis Kelce with 29, 14 catches for 100 yards. And then Kate Otten third with 26, 8 for 77 and a touchdown. The only 3 guys over 20 points at the tight end position. All right, Trey, you want to do the bench warmer of the week since you were the one that brought it up?
I'm going to answer Chase's question real quick.
I sent you the link. Did you see that?
I Googled it just now. I've been watching it. I would rather be the guy that Saquon hurdled over.
He got fucking hammered on.
Oh
Brandon
my
Knight
god!
did.
Yeah. I will always remember that dunk.
Yeah. That's like the play of his career. It's what he gets remembered for. Is getting fucking killed by DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, literally. Like everybody in the court, like basically had to turn around as if like he had a bone popping out of his leg, but it was just because he just got manhandled on a dunk alley-oop there. So it sucks so bad.
Yep.
All right. Bench warmers of the week. It's fucking idiots.
Bench warmers of the week.
He's so excited about this.
I know, because 3 of them are fucking mine.
Tackling Buzzard, you guys. 3 of them are on Will's fucking team.
And that fucker still won.
It's hard. Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard for me to talk a lot of shit because he still won, and you're not starting Geno Smith over fucking Lamar, but J.K. left on the bench. Taysom Hill, it's a flip of the coin. It's a pretty volatile start to pick Taysom Hill, but god damn, 3 of those guys all on bench warmers of the week. Oh. Don't laugh, doctor. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Let's see who fucking started. And let's see
who I started him over. I will go ahead and tell you.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear your excuses yet. I want to rip on your team.
I benched J.K. Dobbins for Cedric Tillman, and it looked like a shit move until Tillman caught that touchdown at the end of the game to score 19 points. And I thought about before the game starting Taysom Hill over Tillman, so that was the only play I would have made, which I would have lost a point. So
yeah. Well, this is less about your starts because it just isn't, and more about Chase starting DJ Moore over fucking Courtland Sutton.
Courtland Sutton, I'm sorry, I don't trust Bo Nix. They were playing against who was the Broncos playing against? The Bears.
It doesn't matter when you're playing against Bo Nix when Courtland Sutton's throwing a touchdown pass.
Yeah. I mean, how do you even match that? It's just,
Denver played
Chicago.
No, Denver played the Ravens.
No. Yeah.
Like I said, the Ravens.
What?
Did you spike your coffee, bro?
Wish. Who did the Bears play then?
They played
Arizona
Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
DJ Moore walked
and lost at the end of the game.
Fucking scramble. Like a hoe.
It looked like he got hurt. I don't know if we really talked about that. It looked like he came up lame.
I've not seen that. DJ Moore, he just walks off the field. He doesn't come up anywhere. He runs around and then just runs off and then goes and sits down a bit.
It looked like he was limping when he ran off and went to the bench. That's why I said that.
But
he gets hurt every week.
I'll watch
every week.
I'm gonna see it again on my feed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all for bench warmers of the week. I wish there was a little more people to rag on here, but it's just you guys.
If I
Yeah.
would have started Sutton, I would have won. And I had Sutton in for Brian Thomas Jr. because he had that whole abdomen, chest injury or whatever it was. But then they said he was cleared, and I was like, "Oh, you got to start Brian Thomas." Like
I wouldn't have started.
Speaking of Brian Thomas, how do you feel about him now that Trevor Lawrence is injured and may not play this week?
Oh,
I mean, in terms of his deep ball threat, yeah, it's going to be much worse if Trevor Lawrence can't play. But I will say this: I am excited for his future for sure. But yeah, in terms of his weak matchup, I'll probably have to start Courtland Sutton. It's to the point now that Courtland Sutton, if he's going to get as many targets as he is, and if he's going to be literally passing the ball for touchdowns, he's a focal point of this offense. And Bo Nix, I mean, he's probably the 5th or 6th best scoring quarterback this year. I mean, you got to be able to put him in your lineup, and I'm just finding a hard time to do that. But it may be Brian Thomas if Trevor Lawrence is hurt. Yeah.
I don't think Courtland Sutton is going to be passing a lot of touchdowns or even passing a lot. I think I watched that game.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is
7th in scoring for quarterback.
Would you trust like Trey Tucker to throw the ball for the Raiders? What I'm saying is the people that are throwing the ball, they're going to be a focal point in the offense, right? Like if they trust you that much, most likely you're a leader of that offense. You're going to get targets. You're going to get used. So that's what I'm saying is like if he's going to be throwing freaking touchdowns, I'm going to have to put him in there, not because he's going to throw another touchdown, but because he's literally a focal point of that offense. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I may have to sit Brian Thomas Jr. until he brings it back up on a more consistent basis. But these rookies are, except for Malik Neighbors, because he's the only player really there is on the Giants. The rest of the rookies are inconsistent, which is normal for rookies. But you kind of go for that boom bust play, and I got busted.
Oh, you got busted, all right.
Busted.
All right. What else do we need to talk about here? Did we cover everything we talked about?
I was going to say.
It's a lot faster when Tyler's not in this podcast. That motherfucker takes up so much
he
air.
Fucking talks too much. No.
Oh my god! And then it's the way he asks questions. He asks questions like that one kid that's like, "Do you ever wish you coulda, woulda, but you ever coulda?" Our goddamn audience.
Also, the other thing of why it's going quicker is we haven't had a single fucking viewer the whole time, so we hadn't got any questions in the comments.
It sucks.
True, yeah, but I enjoyed those.
Hard, and this is perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about it for this show.
All right.
So,
well, shit, fellas.
Well, I'm drunk, so I'm gonna go play some video games.
I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Chase, you gonna hop over?
Yeah, I'll get on.
All right, cool.
All right, man. We'll hard y'all later.
All right, heads. It's been fun. We'll do it again next week.
Deuces.
Oh shit, wrong way.
See ya.